For the latest news and updates on Tibet, subscribe to Yarloon YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the notification bell icon.
Oh, thank you, Sakinala. So good to see you online.
Thank you.
I'm privileged to be here at the online event on human rights in China, Xi Jinping, organized by Asia Freedom Institute and my friend Kedola and Donze and Tinzdechen, all behind the scene organizing this thing. First, I want to say so good to see you, my friend Dolkun. We've been together for many years now. So we are solidarity in arms. And each time I hear about how your parents suffer, about especially about their death and not knowing. And knowing about their through newspapers, news media, and all your siblings, and suffering always pains me. And then obviously our solidarity goes out to all the Uyghur brothers and sisters who are suffering in East Turkestan now. And then I'm so glad to have Fin Lao. Again, we had an event last time. I mistook his identity, but good to see you on a bigger screen. So now I get to hear you more clearly, and my solidarity again goes to you because you also again suffer so much. So we all are the victims of human rights violation perpetuated by the Chinese government. So we are not talking about human rights in theory. But in reality, I just lunched with another Hong Kong leader, Dennis Kwok, recently. And then when you hear personal stories like that, it always pains you. At the same time, it emboldens you. It gives you the courage to say that, yes, we must write this, journey together. It will be difficult, there will be obstacles, there will be intimidation, there will be all kinds of, direct and indirect threats to all of us, but we must persevere. This is how, we prevail. And then, in the last 10 years as Sikyong, and I continue to say this, and today we have Eva as an expert on, human rights and about China. So she will give the expert, conclusion, the most difficult job of our statements. But I have always been saying this, that when we talk about human rights violations of Tibetans or Hong Kongers or Uyghurs, we are no more talking about us alone. We are just giving example to the rest of the world, because the tentacles of Beijing government is everywhere. It's in your boardroom, it's in your government, it's in your businesses, it's in your intellectuals everywhere. For example, we always say Tibet is the patient zero. Now we have suffered a lot. The party secretary of Tibet Autonomous Region was sent to Xinjiang, and who perpetuated all this crime against humanity, which even UN Human Rights Commissioner has come out with a report now affirming that yes, crime against humanity did take place and continue to take place in Xinjiang, and also with the people in Hong Kong. And often they used to say, okay, this is an isolated case, Tibetan case, it will not happen in the rest of China. But then our brothers and sisters, the Uyghur brothers and sisters case came out. It opened their eyes. Now with Hong Kong, the Dokun and we were together in a panel where the Hong Kong activists, and especially your former Emily Lau, was given the John McCain Leadership Award. Remember, Dokun, I said that at that time, in November of 2019, I said very soon China will impose repressive rules in Hong Kong and take over. And Emily Lau challenged me, said, no, we are not going to let it happen. People of Hong Kong will come out of the streets and we will continue to fight, and it will not happen. And she specifically asked me, I said, by December of 2019, but soon, 6 months later, by June of 2020, it did take place. And like, Fin Lao, like you said, at that time, I said, right, Dolkun, I said, look, what is the rest of the world going to do about Hong Kong? The situation is going to be worse. Just by issuing statements, passing laws, and showing solidarity won't be enough. And then, unfortunately, it happened. Then we are now, all our Hong Kong brothers and sisters are in exile, right? So what happened to us is happening to the rest of the world. Now, with the case of Xinjiang, our brothers and sisters in Hong Kong, many of the members of parliament in Europe and America spoke out against human rights violation. What happened to them? Now, the Chinese government has the audacity to ban, members of Congress of US, members of Congress of, Canada, and member of parliament of Europe. So what happened to us is happening to the rest of the world. When Beijing can ban members of parliament, including the speaker of the US Congress, Nancy Pelosi, you can imagine what they could do and doing to the rest of the world in developing countries who are dependent for foreign aid from China. So yes, in Tibet, freedom of speech is violated. Freedom of association, assembly are violated. Intellectuals are put behind bars. Now, Chinese intellectuals are put behind bars. Chinese human rights activists are put behind bars, right? Now they are coming out and threatening the rest of the world, like in Denmark, Norway, Australia, So our issue is no more an issue of simply Tibetans and Hong Kongers and Uyghurs or Mongolian or even Taiwanese, but rather it is a global issue. To have a government who says, I want to change the definition of human rights. I'm sure Eva is going to elaborate on that. We are going to control and influence United Nations. 3 of the 15 UN agencies are controlled by Chinese government officials. Of the remaining 40, of the remaining 12, right? The deputy directors or the secretaries are Chinese. There's so many of the UN agencies. Right? WHO is under pressure, right? So you see the tentacles of Beijing government is everywhere. So I want to end by saying silence is complicit. When we talk about Tibetan human rights violation, Uyghurs human rights violation, Hong Kongers human rights violation, please don't remain silent because you are complicit with the repressive regime of Beijing. What happened to us is happening to your country, to your people as well. So collectively, like we coming together, solidarity today, we want the whole world to join for the sake of democracy, for the sake of human rights of everybody. So with that, I want to end and thank my friends in the same panel and looking forward to meeting you in person and so one day soon, conference like this in person where a lot of people will come and go and show the genuine support. Thank you.